Hey, what's up guys? My name is Jamie, and in this video I want to give 3 reasons why I think Angular is a great framework to learn in 2019. Alright, and the first reason I have for you is that Angular is able to be cross-platform. And what I mean by that is that using different technologies, you can leverage Angular code on different platforms. So for instance, if you use the Ionic framework, then you can build for iOS and Android, and they're bringing support for other platforms as well fairly soon. And you can also use Electron, and Electron is just a tool where you can build your web apps to like desktop environments. So like you can build an app for Mac and Windows and Linux. So I'll put that over here, Mac, Windows, and Linux. And then of course you can build on the web as well. And that includes like Safari, Chrome, Firefox, just all the browsers basically. So with Angular you can build to all 3 of these places, which pretty much includes almost all platforms. It doesn't include like console and stuff like that, but you don't really need to build apps for consoles. The only apps for consoles that people actually make are like actual games. Like the software of the consoles is built by the companies that make the consoles, for the most part. Anyways, that's my reason number 1 is Angular is cross-platform, and you can build really spiffy looking apps with something like Angular Material. And I've done a lot of videos on that on my site. So this is a this is kind of separate. It's like a library for Angular, which allows you to build very responsive apps with very good looking UI and just a lot of pre-built stuff. So yeah, Angular can be cross-platform. That is my first reason why I think it's a great thing to learn in 2019. Alright, and reason number 2 why I think Angular is so awesome in 2019 is because it's really intuitive. And the reason why Angular is so intuitive is because it's based on HTML, CSS, and TypeScript, which is similar to JavaScript. And if you're a web developer or you're somewhat familiar with like web code, then the Angular framework will be very intuitive to you. And so this makes Angular a huge asset in my mind, because a lot of other frameworks, they kind of muddy things up a little bit, but Angular tries to stay as true as possible to this basic framework. Like when you generate a component, it just contains an HTML file, a CSS file, and a TypeScript file. And so also in the intuitive category down here, I'm going to put that Angular uses components. And components and providers are like the 2 main things which Angular uses as a framework in order to like structure code. And these 2 things, I've already made a video about like Angular components and providers in like a basic introduction to Angular. And so if you're curious about that, be sure to check out the video. I'll just leave an annotation up there. But yeah, Angular is super intuitive. I think that basically anyone can pick it up. You just gotta know a little bit of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then learn the basics of components and providers, which I teach you all about in just a single video. And then with all of that, you should be good to go and just start building apps in Angular. Yeah, love this framework, super intuitive. Alright, and then the third reason I have for you guys is that Angular has a huge community. And that means that on places like Stack Overflow, as well as like GitHub, there's going to be like a ton of example projects and people debugging things which you might run into yourself, as well as like the documentation as well. All these things get better and more robust with the more people that are using it and giving feedback. And so because there's such a large community around Angular, I highly recommend it for anyone wanting to learn to build websites and apps and like apps for anything, any platform, as I pointed out in the first step. So those are my 3 main reasons, you guys: the community, and then the cross-platform, as well as like it being intuitive. I think more so than any other framework really out there right now. It checks all those boxes, and I really highly recommend it to absolutely everyone. I recommend it to all my friends, my family if they'll listen, but not a lot of them are coders. So yeah, that's all I have for this video, guys. Just a quick little video about why I like Angular in 2019. And if you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.